One of my favorite tinctures to make is Hawthorn tincture. And Hawthorn is these red berries with usually on short shrubby trees with scalloped leaves. And the berries come out in late summer, but they're best to harvest after a freeze. So in the Pacific Northwest, that would be usually late October, early November. And the color of the berries has kind of dropped off, as you can see in here. But hawthorn is a great medicine for the heart. And one of the beautiful and poetic things I love about herbalism is whatever's good for the physical, there's a matching quality that's good for your emotional or spiritual side as well. So similar to St. John's wort, which is often prescribed in Europe for depression. So emotional pain, you can also use St. John's wort in a salve to remove physical pain. So hawthorn is good for the physical heart. It's one of the earliest documented heart medicines that is out there. And it's also good, so they say, for the spiritual heart, for your emotional heart. It is in the rose family, so you can see some things in there. I went ahead and threw in some rose hips as I was harvesting the hawthorns after the freeze, and which are good for immune system, good, lots of vitamin C in rose hips. But hawthorn is a plant that is not going to be toxic. It's not going to have any contraindications, so I don't think there's any medicines out there. You would want to check with your doctor, of course, but I don't think there's any medicines out there that would cause a bad reaction to hawthorn. Unlike St. John's wort, since I did mention St. John's wort, that can have bad side effects with some other prescribed antidepressants. But hawthorn is just a great remedy for the heart. It can strengthen your heart. It's has an amazing property in that if you take it regularly, like maybe half teaspoon a day, 1 to 3 times a day for a month or 2 or 3, it will improve your heart, and that improvement will last even after you stopped taking the hawthorn tincture. So it's just a good all-around heart booster. I don't have any problems with my heart, but I do have a desire to keep an open heart and keep a strong and open heart. And so I take the hawthorn tincture for the more spiritual uses. And I try to get the people who I know who have heart problems, actual physical heart problems, to take it. And so far they haven't taken me up on it, but I continue to make it to try to persuade them eventually. Hawthorn is also a tree commonly associated with the Fae. So I do like to, pay my respects and ask permission before harvesting. And I like to try to offer, some sort of service in return, usually trimming away the blackberry bushes that like to try to strangle out the hawthorn trees. So just be aware that you might be stepping into some Fae territory and be respectful when you do so. And it can also be made in teas if you don't want to make a tincture. This tincture is just made with regular 80 proof vodka. Doesn't have to be organic. The pesticides will not, are filtered out during the process. So, but yeah, it can be made as a tea. You can soak in vinegar for other medicinal properties also. And it's just a great all-around tincture.